Hello, my name is Eric. I'm from the state of Ohio in the United States. I have been to Mexico several times, probably seven or eight, to visit the family of my wife.
And what were your thoughts when you first learned that you were visiting Mexico?
I was a little nervous, not only because I was going to a country that I had never been to before, but also I was going to be meeting the family of my wife for the first time. You know, if I was nervous about anything, it was probably mostly about meeting her dad.
And was there anything bothersome about Mexico?
Um, I love the culture, but the poverty is a little hard to see. And you hear a lot in the United States about corruption related to like the cartels and the government.
And how about food? Did you like the food?
I love Mexican food. Um, my my wife is an excellent cook. She's always making me stuff from Mexico. Um, she learned from her mom, so I'm a very lucky guy.
And what do you think about punctuality in Mexico?
But I've always been a very punctual person. Kind of have a saying here: if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Um, I can't speak for all of Mexico, but when it comes to trying to get or make plans for like a family outing with my wife's family, everybody's kind of putting in their thoughts and opinions, and it takes forever to get everybody together.
And how about traffic?
Aside from Mexico City, the traffic's really not a problem. I've driven in Mexico several times, and no big deal.
Okay, and how are you at the moment of negotiation?
Negotiations. I guess I'm okay. I get my point across pretty well usually.
Okay, and in your country, do people show their emotions usually?
I would say uh, the way people display their emotions or express their emotions is similar to what is done in Mexico. I would say, well, at least in regards to women, the men in Mexico probably, I would say, have a little more machismo. They're probably less likely to show emotions than males of the United States.
Okay, and how are people organized socially in the United States?
Um, we have a class structure that consists of you have your extreme poverty. That's people that are homeless, don't have any food, but it's not common. We also have some that are in um, not such extreme poverty. They have a place to live. They eat, but they probably don't eat the best.
Hmm.
There's a large middle class that has its own lower, middle, and upper class structure. And then you have the upper class people who it seems like all they do is complain about paying their taxes.
Okay, and how would you describe American people?
Um, I would say they're people like anywhere. We do have pretty good um, like racial diversity in the United States. We have people from African descent, people of South and Central American descent, um, European descent, Asian, the Middle East. People from all over the world are here.
Okay, and you mentioned you're married. Could you describe how you met your wife?
My wife and I met while we were studying at the university.
Did you ever have any issues with communication?
I would say early on we did. I'm not sure if I don't know if you have this expression in Spanish, but we do in the United States the silent treatment. Um, I'm not sure if early on, if she was giving me the silent treatment because she was upset with me, or maybe she just didn't have the words to express what she wanted to say.
Okay. Did you ever have any disagreements in regard to food?
Nothing too serious. Sometimes she likes what she likes, and I like what I like. I will say this: early on, we didn't have a lot of money, so we would go out to eat and we would share dishes, and it was always a compromise.
Um, are there any traditions or customs um, that um, you don't like, or yeah, basically that you don't like from your wife?
Um, no, I honestly don't think that there's any customs or traditions that I don't like from Mexico. It's all enjoyable. It's very colorful. Um, it's just good stuff.
Oh,
I probably prefer to my own culture.
what's your favorite?
I like the Christmas celebrations and New Year's celebrations, all the different things that go along with it. It seems like there's a tighter bond, family bond. Um, I don't know how else to describe it.
Okay, and lastly, could you describe or just talk in general about education in the United States?
It's kind of similar to the social class. You'll see more poverty in like the inner cities. The schools aren't well funded there, unless you're talking about a private school. Again, that the families of the wealthy would send their children to the private schools. Sky's the limit if you got the money.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you. Adios.